Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel here on JaredGunstonTV. Something I just wanted to share with you, a quick tip on some basic house cleaning with your GT-1000CORE if you are planning to use this for a live show. I know a lot of guys don't really understand the patch up, patch down thing, and if you've got a MIDI controller picking your patches and all that sort of thing, that's fine. But for me, I'm going to be using it on its own, patch up, patch down, and the control button, which is my tap tempo. And then if I push pedal number 2 and 3, I get manual mode for some extra things should I need them, like turning on delays or reverbs. But what I wanted to show you is I'm preparing for my tribute show at the end of the year. So what I do is I'm going to start from patch 9. I'm going to keep some space here for patches that I make on the fly. So I've got my acoustic sim, clean, overdrive, distortion, lead. That was the acoustic sound I did on my RC500 video. I really like the guitar pad, so I'm not going to overwrite that one. And that's still a space I've got left to overwrite. So the first patch, I've called it Guns N' Roses because that's the tribute show I'm doing. And I've just gone in and I've turned everything off. And master I've turned down to 0, and then you save that as your sort of headline for your show. And if you're going to be doing set lists, and I've already got my set list, so starting with the first song, I've mapped out where I need to be doing patch changes. It starts with drive, then eventually goes into a clean, then there's an overdrive build-up, back to drive, back to solo, drive, clean, drive, solo, and then I put in your OC5, but it's basically just octave down riff right at the end of the song. So I just put that there, OC5, to remind me that it's the octave sound. And so as the song plays, I just go next, 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 and then the song is done. But the GT1 and the GP10 are the closest to this sort of what I call playlist format of hardware. Your GT-1000 is bank and patches. This I call a master patch and playlist format because there's 250 patches for you, and you do with those patches. You can't go from sound number 240 to sound number 3 unless you got MIDI. So this is the best way to do it. And I'll tell you what I like about this is, let's say for example, I'm playing the song and I don't want these cleans to sound the same as my other cleans, in a future song to come as I'm programming. You can just go in and then adjust the chorus, adjust whatever per patch, and you just save these two as the same thing, done. And then if you want this solo, the first solo, to be not as big as the second solo, you just go in and use an EQ block, bring it down a bit, maybe boost the mids in this one a bit more. But one of the key features that I highly recommend if you're going to be doing this and you've got a sort of overall sound that you might need to tweak as you go, you're going to want to keep your, I've got all my sounds here at the beginning, basically. And you can see here, I'm using the stomp box on my amps, and on my amps only. I'm going to use the global settings if I have to bring the delay or the reverb down. And I've got my 3 inputs already saved for my separate guitars. You can see those here. There's my 3 guitars. Okay, so the best thing to do, what I recommend, is once you're happy with your sound, you go to your block, you write it to Stompbox. And if you want to check because when you go write, it just gives you numbers. So you could make a mistake. So what I recommend is you go select, you have a look down the list, and I noticed from 6 it was set to init, like that one. So I saved mine there, and then for every drive sound in the entirety of my show, I'm going to save this. And by doing that, I'm going to show you now. So like clean, I've done the same, which is there. You can see Give it a sec. Guns N' Roses clean. Overdrive. Because I'm obviously going to have to tweak these sounds slightly to try and get the tone I'm looking for. At this point, I'm just using my standard sounds. There's OD, and then solo is the fourth one. Wait for that to load. Here we go. Lead, or lead, because I ran out of space. So now I've done the majority of these. There's one or two left at the end here, which I thought I would just demonstrate how to do that. So as I was doing this, I just thought, I know I've spoken about this before on the group, and I thought maybe I must just make a video just to explain what I'm doing. Okay, so now drive. I mean, you could have this, if you don't set these all to stomp boxes and you're running it in a playlist format like this, you go into one of your amps, you change the settings, you love it, then you patch through a few settings, you get to the same sound again, and now it's not the same. And you can try and copy, write this to there, and then write this to there, and write this to wherever, and it's just going to take you so long. So what I recommend is once you've written your stomp box setting for your amp, and try and keep them all uniform. It just makes the whole process a lot easier. You select Guns N' Roses drive. Now nothing changed because they currently are set this way. And don't forget to save. But big warning, once you have saved and you come in and you want to dabble around with your patch, your amplifier settings, that's going to change on the fly, all your amplifiers. So be very careful and always keep a backup so that you can, go up to the top, find your sound, click there, save this, and overwrite that stomp box. Okay, so now we are on solo. Stomp box select, lead, okay, right, save, save. What I highly recommend you do is turn off those knob settings for bass, middle, treble, all that sort of thing, because you never know if while you set up, you might accidentally push the mids or the gain or the something, and that's going to run down your entire line of sounds, your entire patch playlist. It's going to change every single sound that's got that thing on. All right, so this is the same sound as my drive. Why is it every time I do videos, my phone decides to make noises? Silent mode is a real thing. Okay, and before I save, I haven't done my octave yet, so I'm going to show you. Okay, now we look for a free effects slot. Here's one. You want to click and drag this right to the beginning. Go in here. The octave bass is not bad, actually. You must try it on guitar. It's pretty cool. So we're going to turn the octave on. I'm going to go mono. The secondary pitch you don't hear so much, but somewhere around there normally gives you a pretty decent sound. Turn that on. Save. 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 Alright, so if I grab my guitar and just plug in, then I should be able to show you what these sound like. Okay, and another thing that I've shared with you guys on the group is just, let's just pretend this was my entire set from song to song. Each one of these were a song, but in my case, each one is a patch change in the song. So you can see we start at user number 000 or 009, and then the song ends at 19. You're going to want to go into play options. You're going to want to go here. Min-max. And you're going to want to set this to 19. And once that is done, let's call it my show title patch. So there's no sound. That's why I'm playing my guitar. You can't hear anything. But as soon as I go up, watch what happens when I hit the OC5 on patch 19 and then press switch up. Alright, that's the end of the song, and when I push patch up, back to the start. So where that works really nicely is when you get to the end of your show, knocks you right back there, you can unplug your guitar, and you're not going to send a peek through the PA system and all that sort of thing. Very, very nice, nice way to have it set up. And you can hear how smoothly the patches all change. They are timeless and no delays and all that sort of thing. It sounds really cool. And I've got mine set up with the EV5 expression pedal. So when I go to, for example, my drive sound, I can do this. And just to show you what's actually happening, I'm going to turn on that on the screen for you so you can see where my foot is moving. that, my friends, is a demo of how to arrange your patches, what my patches sound like, and just sorting out all the niggles in advance so that when you go to the show, you look and you sound professional. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget all the usual YouTube shenanigans at the bottom. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to help. I'm going on tour for 2 weeks in mid-December, just before Christmas and just after. So let me know, man. But I'm having so much fun with this, and this device sounds just as good as the original GT. I know a lot of guys say, what's the point in getting a small one? For me, I've always preferred smaller with the biggest sound possible. And in my case, I like running shows in a playlist. Even when I'm going to do my pub gigs, my songs are going to be organized in a playlist. So this is perfect for me. And it's going to look quite lonely on a big stage, but it's going to blow people away with the sound. And I'm more than happy to accommodate. All right, guys, you stay safe out there. Catch you in the comments and on the group. Cheers.